page 13 in your workbooks, the 10 characteristics of a conscious relationship. This is an outlook. This is an attempt to describe how the mountaintop could look, a direction, an opening. It starts with perceiving your relationship as a context to get mirrored who you are and challenged by your partner's conscious and unconscious reactions. Perceiving your relationship as a context in which you see yourself and in which the partner's kind of job is to test you, to provoke you. Not a conscious job, of course, but maybe from a greater, higher purpose, so that you get triggered where it hurts, where you're vulnerable, so that you start working on that. But you only would work if you would see it in a conscious context. Otherwise, when you get triggered, as in the past, you will react, you will start fighting, you will do all kinds of things or quitting the relationship. But in a conscious relationship, you look at what's happening from that perspective, that it is something that mirrors me and my partner, again, not consciously, whatever he does that makes me react is an opportunity for me now to look at myself and learn about my triggers, my unresolved stuff that kicks me into reaction. So from a spiritual or consciousness growth perspective, a partner is precious. The same action of the partner might not trigger somebody else, but it triggers you, right? So that means that your partner is just acting on behalf of the whole, and you have an opportunity to grow and to learn instead of fighting. So that means that's point number one. Number two, using consistently the mirror your relationship is in order to learn to see what is and what is not, stripped of all projections and hallucinations. So at the same time, to also see your relationship as a possibility, an opportunity to see more and more and more what is and what is not your projections, not being in your own movie, not falling for your hallucinations. In order to stop running after an hallucination, you need to recognize it as such, right? As long as you think it's the real thing, you keep running. When you accuse your partner or you go into an argument, if what you argue about comes from you running a projection on your partner, that means it's not your partner, but you project an unresolved stuff with your mom onto your partner. We could talk about that in length later. If that's the case, then what you argue with is not your partner if you're a man, but your mom. What you argue with, if you're a woman, is not your man, but it's your daddy. So to learn consistently to clear your awareness of all the smoke means a journey to what is and what is not, instead of being forever caught up in your own movie, hallucinations and projections. Without moving out of the smoke, I doubt that your relationships, whether they are personal or professional, it doesn't matter, will ever have a chance to improve. Because your movies will not change. Whatever happened with mom and dad, what is not resolved, has been filmed. The programs upload that movie. There's no new movie because it's all in the past. So your relationships will never change if you're not going to move out of the smoke in a state of clarity. So again, relationships are a great opportunity to accelerate that journey into becoming fully conscious. Number 3, accepting the stand, I am responsible for everything you do, not do, experience, and not experience. Almost every argument in a relationship is based on one of the two or both not being willing to be the stand, I am responsible for what I do, for what I don't do, for what I experience, and for what I not experience. Now, if I take the stand, I am responsible for what I do not experience, I can't blame you any longer that you don't fill in the blank, and that you do fill in the blank, and if you just would fill in the blank, and if you wouldn't, if you only wouldn't, that whole stuff would be gone. And I would be facing powerful creation questions. What would need to happen? What would I need to be willing to cause? What would I be willing to let go of, etc., in order to have the experience of connection, have the experience of excitement, have the experience of togetherness, have the experience of adventure, having the experience that I love you. But it's very easy to blame it on the others, as everybody knows, but we're all doing it, aren't we? Yeah, we could be all the great preachers and teachers about relationships, but the test is, how do we live in our own relationship and what is true there? That's the test. So number 4 is living an absolute commitment to always shift from assumptions, complaints, frustrations, and resignation into creation actions. Those of you who have done Master 2, that's the ladder of power we're talking here about. So an absolute commitment to always shifting from assumptions, expectations, complaints, frustrations, aggressions, resignations into creator actions. Making requests, communicating what you wish, maybe sometimes even making a demand if that is required. Stop being a victim. No victim manipulation tangos any longer. That would be part of a conscious relationship. I give up the right to execute power over you by dropping my entitlement to be a victim just because you triggered pain in me. It's not that you caused pain. No. Whatever you did or did not, you triggered me in order to experience pain, as I just said, unresolved from the past. But then I feel entitled to run my power tango on you. That needs to go. Number 5, being a commitment to being off it, staying off it and getting off it, under all circumstances, in all places, at all times, without exception. Being off it, staying off it, and if you slip, getting off it. In absoluteness, that means no conditions justify that you stay on it. No time, place, external conditions justify that you can stay on it. Not even an exception from the rule could justify that you stay on it. If you have a commitment to absolutely living to get off it, being off it, and staying off it, then this is a most valuable gift to the possibility and the sustainability of any relationship you have. On it is a condition in which a relationship can't work. As simple as that. On it means it's about you, not about the other. It's about you, not about the relationship. It's all about you. And as long as it's all about you, there's no flow. And relationship has no chance, because relationship means that both are forfeiting that it's first about them. Of course it's about you, but we come to you later. Relationship is, first of all, about the possibility to relating. It's not even the altruistic possibility of it's about the other. It's about the possibility to relate. And this will all become clear as you go along in the next 3 days. Number 6, always choosing creation over reaction. The C comes first. You find yourself, you're human, you do react, you find yourself in reaction, then what's your choice? Even if you don't choose, you choose not to choose. But then your reaction will run you. The only way to stop you being in reaction is by choosing creation. There's no other way. And creation means that you take the C in reaction and you make it first. C as in consciousness first, context first, commitment first. Then reaction becomes creation. Number 7, respecting your partner's needs and wishes fully and allowing them to be. So that leads to your partner has the space in your relationship to have their wishes and needs. They do not breathe an air with regard to they shouldn't have something, or they should. So all the should and the shouldn'ts would not be there. Your partner likes this, celebrate it. It does not mean that you need to like it. But your job in a conscious relationship would be that you allow the space for your partner to have it. What you guys then are creating around that is a different story. But first is that you allow your partner to be as they are, as their job would be to allow you to be as you are. Otherwise, you start cutting off your race. Remember the star in Master One? You cut off a little bit here, you cut off a little bit there. You want to watch racing, but your partner is not okay with it because grandma's birthday and all the rest of it. You cut off a little bit there and a little bit there, and suddenly you don't feel like this is the place you want to be any longer. So allowing your partner to have the right to wish and need whatever that is, does not mean that this becomes the agenda now. It simply means they have the right to have that. What then happens as a creation needs to be created. But foundation is allowance. Not a teeth-fletching tolerance, but a yes, have it. Yes, that's okay. Yes to your rugby thing. Yes to you needing to see your friends and have your coffee chats. Yes, practicing the yes. Number 8 would be become a giver, not a taker. That's a tough one, because at the end of the day, that leads you to enlightenment big time. Become a giver, and therefore you need to become aware what is taking, where you're taking, where you're unconsciously still in taking mode. And remember, pain is the most accepted justification for having an entitlement to take. The more pain you feel, and of course you accuse your partner, the more pain you feel entitled to take. If you can get that one out of the way, so much will change for you. Number 9 would be practicing nonviolence, transparency, integrity, and kindness. Now, these are values that let every possibility of relationship breathe, expand, flower, uplift. And even if it's just a reminder, non-violence, we will talk about violence, we will talk about how the brain, our system works and all the rest of it. Transparency, well, I don't know how you want to have a fully connected relationship and keep your secrets. That story will run all the time between you and the other and will create distance. So transparency is one of the entry tickets to have a truthful, powerful, ecstatic relationship. Integrity, well, we all know that it doesn't work in any relationship to not do what you said you will do by when you said you will do it. Very simple as that. And kindness means do you bring, no matter what you feel, first of all, an element of gentleness, of kindness, in respect that you probably may be wrong. So there's absolutely no entitlement for you to be forceful, rude, nasty, and all the rest of it. Kindliness is an act of respecting the other, and first let's go and see what's true, what's not true. Let's remove the smoke. And then when there's a need for expressing harsh emotions, yes, that would be a conscious space of encounter sharing. But then it's safe, it's not damaging. But just to be entitled not to be kind comes again from you experiencing pain, and therefore it's vengeance time. And the last one would be allowing awareness and alignment with your essence to be loving and whole and united with your partner, your neighbor, and the world. Shifting from possessive love to unconditional love. On the whole yacht retreat, you will hit the perfect clarity for yourself that who you are, your essence is, undoubtedly, unconditional love. There was never anything else as an essence, and there will never be. So here it's simply for you to have it heard. Maybe you also already know it or feel it. But that's the essence. And this you share not only in your personal space with the most significant other, but you share with every neighbor, with every other, with the world. And you allow that. So ultimately, you become a living example, a space of easiness, a reality that lives and radiates a shift from possessive love to unconditional love. So you become an ambassador of the possibility for a human being to connect with their essence and to bring that into their daily life, into their everyday being in the world. Out of that, you will cause others to also believe in that possibility, not only hear or read about it, but if you live it, there's nothing more powerful in the whole world, because you can't be denied. You do live, you're there, and when you live that, you will initiate it in others. So that are the 10 characteristics of a conscious relationship. And all that will be part, this is the essence of the Mastery of Relationship course.